I'm Chris. Welcome to our first Ticker Talk of the school year. We know you have lots of things you can do with your time, and we're so glad you choose to spend some of your spare time with us. Speaking of spare time, where does Spider-Man hang out in his spare time? The World Wide Web.
Hey everyone, I'm Matt. Which game show features superheroes? The Great Escape.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm wondering if any of you know what you call a superhero who likes to cook. Superman. Huh?
Hey everyone, I'm Aiden. What does Superman eat his breakfast in? A Super Bowl, of course.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ann. Did you see the new superhero movie? It was marvelous.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah. Why do superheroes always get the bad guys? Because they are so capable.
Hey everyone, I'm Brooke. Why is Spider-Man good at playing baseball? He knows how to catch flies. Welcome back to those of you who are joining us again for this year's Ticker Talk series, and a big hello to those of you who are here for the first time. We have 4 Ticker Talks planned for you this school year, and we hope you can make it to all of them. Ticker Talk is a time for you to come together with young people who have experienced some of the same things related to your heart condition, and in tonight's case, have the same feelings and emotions related to those experiences. We hope that you will make the most of your time here while you learn and enjoy time with your friends. All right, let's take care of a few announcements. All right, following the Odeyan way. If you know it, help me out. H-E-A-R-T, because we lead with our hearts. I'm gonna flip this up. H is helpful. I know you guys got this. E, encouraging. Yep. A, accepting. Yep. And R, respectful. T, yes. All right, give yourself a high five. All right, try your best tonight. Listen and pay attention. Make sure your device is on a flat surface in front of you. Have fun. And make sure Ticker Talk is fun for others by using that chat box respectfully. Also, we will have you muted tonight when we ask you to, but not now. You can unmute yourself using the speaker button on the bottom left of your screen. All right, we're going to invite you to use your chat box tonight, so if that's not open, please do so by clicking chat on your black toolbar at the bottom. All right, now a word from our sponsor, Abbott. Ticker Talk is brought to you by our friends at the global health partner company, Abbott. They make life-changing technologies that help keep hearts and arteries healthy so people can live their fullest lives. Camp Odeyan has partnered with Abbott for many years, and we're excited to work together to bring you Ticker Talk. Tonight is all about superheroes. Not the ones you'd find in comics and movies or on the front lines at the hospitals. I'm talking about you, heart heroes, because inside each of you and me is a superpower, the power to choose. We all have the power to choose how we respond, but this isn't so that we're always perfect, because mistakes are how our brain grows. It's so that we can move in the right direction. It's about making progress. Okay, we'll get more into our superpower later, but for now, let's start the night learning about our brains, flipping our lids, you heard it earlier, or losing control of our emotions happens to all of us, even adults. For the next few minutes, you'll learn about how the different parts of our brain work together and why we flip our lids. This is important because when we know more about how our emotions affect our brains, we can manage those emotions better and empathize with others. This fuels our power to choose.
Kids want to know. Imagine that you really want to play soccer at lunchtime, but when the bell rings, you can't find your shoes. When you finally get out to the field, the teams have been picked and it's too late for you to play. Maybe you got so mad that this small problem became a big problem in an instant. When we lose control of our emotions like this, we can call it flipping your lid, kind of like the way a pot might do if it was too full and too hot. A little while later, after you've cooled down, you might even feel sad when you realize that when you had a big reaction to a little problem, you could have hurt someone's feelings. What if I told you that this happens to everyone? Your parents, friends, teachers, and everyone else you know can flip their lid and lose control of their emotions sometimes. We all need to work on managing our feelings. Have you ever wondered why we can have such a hard time keeping our emotions under control? It can be really tough being a kid these days. There's just so much going on every day, at home, at school, even after school. Sometimes it's hard to keep a lid on things, and we act in ways that are not kind or caring, even though we don't mean to be hurtful. There are so many situations that we encounter every day that can cause our emotions to bubble up. Maybe you felt upset or frustrated when you were working on a problem or activity at school and just can't seem to get it right. Maybe something unexpected or embarrassing happened to you in front of your friends. Maybe you had something important to say, but didn't get a chance to say it. These and many, many more situations can cause both kids and adults to flip their lids. So why does this even happen? Well, it has to do with the way our amazing human brains work to help keep us safe. This is your brain, the part of your body that controls everything you do. Let's take a closer look at the parts of the brain and how they can work together to help us keep a lid on things. The brain is a pretty complicated organ, so we're going to use our hand to help us visualize what's happening up there. Let's imagine that our brain has an upstairs and a downstairs. Here, where our thumb is called the midbrain. This is where our emotions and memories are created and stored. Below that is your brainstem. The brainstem controls the things our bodies do that we don't have to think about, like breathing. It also controls our automatic reactions to certain situations. For example, if you touch a cup with hot tea in it and it's too hot, your downstairs brain feels the pain and will pull your hand away to stop you from getting burnt. It's an automatic reaction. You don't have to stop and think about what to do. Or imagine you're out on a hike and a bear wanders onto the path. Your brain doesn't stop and think, what kind of bear is it? Is it friendly? Your downstairs brain notices that you feel scared. It takes charge and in a split second decides whether or not you should fight, fly, another word for run away, or freeze. Because of the way our downstairs brain reacts to these situations, we can think of it as our emotional brain because it reacts instantly without needing to think things through. It's always ready to take charge in any situation to help keep you safe. So if this is our downstairs brain, then this part where the back of our hand and fingers are can be seen as our upstairs brain. It's called the cerebral cortex. This part of our brain helps us think logically, act with kindness, and think about how others might be feeling. It's also the problem-solving part of our brain. It helps us to think of possible solutions to a problem and decide which one is best. The upstairs brain is our thinking brain. Your upstairs and downstairs brain don't work alone. Your brain is set up so that the upstairs and downstairs brain can communicate with itself. It sends messages from section to section all the time about what our bodies feel and need. Let's take a closer look at our brain fist. Where our fingertips are is the logic and reasoning part of the brain that springs into action when we have a problem to solve, and usually it does a great job of doing it. But sometimes it can have a hard time solving a problem if the emotional brain and thinking brain can't communicate well enough. This can happen if your emotions get too overwhelming and your downstairs brain decides that this situation might be dangerous, even if it isn't really. And we all know what happens when our downstairs brain thinks you're in danger. It triggers our fight, flight, or freeze reflex. Our emotions start to bubble up and then suddenly everything boils over. We flip our lids. This can look like a scary, angry reaction, or it might be crying or running away from a problem. Now that we've flipped our lids, see how far away our fingertips are from the midbrain? When our lids are flipped, our upstairs and downstairs brain can't talk to each other. Our emotions have become too strong and we can't think clearly and can't solve the problem in a peaceful way. So what can we do to stop us from flipping our lid? Well, it all starts with realizing that we're about to flip our lid and then turning down the heat so it doesn't happen. Remember that soccer game we talked about at the beginning of the video and you were really upset and didn't get to play? Maybe you felt your tummy rumble or you felt your face getting hot? Did your heart start to pound, and did you feel your hands start to clench? Were you frustrated, disappointed, and angry? These types of strong feelings are all indicators that you might be close to flipping your lid. If you feel this start to happen, it's a good idea to walk away, take some deep breaths, and look for an adult to talk to before you flip your lid. It might be a parent, grandparent, coach, teacher, or another trusted adult nearby. They can help you with strategies to solve the problem once you've calmed down enough for your upstairs brain to be ready to do some peaceful problem solving. If you do flip your lid, those same trusted adults can offer you some time and space to cool down before you start to problem solve together. Once your upstairs brain is back in charge, you can share your story and get some help. Using I statements can help you to tell an adult what you need. I need a hug. I need you to listen to what I have to say. I need another chance. I need some alone time. I need a walk. I need you to see that I can do well. Learning more about the brain and how it works can really help us to understand our emotions and to be peaceful problem solvers. When we listen to our bodies and our brains, we can turn the challenges of being a kid into opportunities to learn and grow. Thanks for watching!
Understanding what leads up to those emotional reactions of ours takes time and self-awareness. We have to be aware of how our bodies felt before and during the situation. We need time to process it all too, so that we can return to using our thinking brain and feel calm and safe again. Remember that when we flip our lids, it's not always about feeling angry. Sometimes it might be when we're frustrated or annoyed or even feel disrespected. And I'm sure that all of us have felt excited and playful and happy and couldn't contain our emotions. This is the brain fuel that we need to activate that power to choose. The more we know, the better choices we can make, and over time, with the situations that we find ourselves in. All right, we're gonna keep this up with a quick matching game using some situations where emotions can bubble up and how we can stop from flipping our lids. This will give you a chance to learn some new vocabulary and build your emotional intelligence. For this, I'm gonna need my Odeyan team on stage. Come on. Don't our superheroes look good? Let's get them excited. I know I am. Hi, Aiden.
Hey,
How are you?
not too bad. How are you doing?
I hope you're having as much fun as all these kids out here.
I'm a blast.
All right. We are going to read some scenarios, and you are going to choose the person on stage with the feeling that matches best. So you'll see their name and you'll see the emotion connected to their name. So you can type in whatever you want, person or feeling, okay? So this means you'll need your chat box open so you can type in your guess. Some of these feeling words might be new to you, so keep an eye out in the chat box for some synonyms. All right, here is your first scenario. My friend called me because their pet Merlin died yesterday. I listened and we cried. The next day after school, we got together, say goodbye to Merlin. All right, check out these actors up here. Type in the feeling or the person that matches the situation best. Give you about 5 more seconds. The correct match is Chris. Way to go, superhero Chris. All right, before you go, tell us, what strong emotion did you feel?
I felt empathetic when when I put myself in their shoes. I could feel their sadness and grief when they shared about their pet Merlin.
How did you use your power to choose?
I chose to get calm by taking some deep breaths to slow down my tears. I showed compassion when I chose not to interrupt when they were talking. So I didn't say things like, at least you had a pet, or everything happens for a reason. I actively listened and let them know they were heard. When I found my friend at school the next day, we kept talking and we both felt better.
Thank you, Chris. Using your superpower really helped your friend feel supported. Your empathy showed them that they aren't alone in their sadness. Here's the next one. It was time to open up my birthday presents. When I opened one of the gifts, I screamed and I jumped around. It was exactly what I asked for.
Oh.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw my sister, who seemed to wonder why I didn't love her present this much too. Type in the chat box the feeling of the person that you think is acting out this scenario best. And the correct match is Allison. Allison, what strong emotion did you feel? What did you notice about your body?
I felt grateful for the present. My body felt full of energy and I couldn't stay still. My hands started shaking and my heartbeat got faster.
How did you choose, or how did you use your power to choose?
Well, when I noticed my sister, I realized my big reaction to one present made her feel like her present wasn't good enough. I didn't intend to hurt her feelings, but I know I did. I began to wonder if others felt that way too. I chose to change my actions. Instead of opening more presents, I stopped and thanked everyone for my gifts, especially my sister.
Thanks, Allison. Activating our power to choose means we decide how to handle the ups and downs of our lives. We can't control the situation, but we can control how we respond, and we can work to flip our lids less and less over time. Let's see how the next person uses their superpower. There is a big storm, lots of lightning and thunder with howling winds. I've never heard a storm like this before, and I start to think the storm is going to break through my window. My heart is racing, and I'm wide awake. Now, my mind is full of other scary thoughts like the dark, spiders, and my upcoming surgery. Type in the chat the feeling of the person that you think is acting out this scenario best. All right, a couple more seconds here. The correct answer is Anne. Anne, tell us the big emotion you were feeling.
I was feeling so helpless and scared and then anxious. When I was lying in bed, my thoughts took over, and I let these unpleasant emotions get the first crack at making sense of that storm. I started to tell myself a story that was just full of fear.
That sounds intense. How did you use your power to choose?
It was hard, but I've done hard things before, so I knew I could get a hold of my thoughts and my feelings. I focused on what I know. I know I'm safe, I know I'm fine, and I know I'm powerful. I know the storm can't hurt me, and I know surgery won't hurt me either. I kept repeating the truth to myself until I calmed down. The next morning, I talked to my mom and told her what I needed. She gave me a hug.
Thank you, Anne. I bet you felt powerful when you decided to take control of your fear. All right, the last scenario. I'm learning to play the drums. I'm really passionate about getting better, but my motivation to practice has slowly disappeared. I won't let that slow me down because I've done hard things before and I can do it again, even if I don't want to all the time. All right, type that person or feeling into the chat box that matches this scenario the best. Who could it be? The correct match is Matt. Woo-hoo! Matt, what was the strong emotion you felt?
Grit. I faced the obstacle of being unmotivated, but I persevered when it was hard to keep practicing. I won't give up. I'm determined to be a drummer.
How did you get your motivation back? Like, what did you choose to do?
Well, I talked to my uncle, who used to play the drums in high school. I used my power to choose to tell him what I needed instead of trying to do it alone. Now sometimes we practice together.
Well done. Let's give a big round of applause to our actors, superheroes on stage. And thank you, Heart Heroes, for playing with us. Whew. This brings me to something we've talked about here often, and it's that we can do hard things. So I'm going to need your help for a moment. I'm going to say we can, and then you're going to respond with do hard things. Now, this isn't a quiet exercise, so I want you to get ready to wake up maybe the sleeping cat at your house, or your mom who might be in the kitchen. All right, let's try this. I'm going to say we can. You're going to unmute yourself and say do hard things. All right, I'm going first. You respond. Here we go. We can
Do hard things.
Let's do it again, just because that was so fun. Here we go.
Okay.
We can All right, you were aware of the emotions felt by all of my superhero friends up here. Combine that with being self-aware, and you will make progress in using your own power to choose. Remember that the power to choose is already inside of you, Heart Heroes. Your superpower can get stronger, but you have to use it over and over. You'll make mistakes along the way, and we'll all flip our lid, but over time, it will happen less and less. But no matter what, remember to believe that you can do hard things. Let's unmute ourselves. Here we go. We can
Do hard things.
Okay, we're gonna circle up for happiness runs. This is a tradition at Odeon where we end every program with a song. So normally when we're all together in person, we put our arms around each other and we sway back and forth. But right now you can just put your arms out and pretend like you're touching, the screen picture next to you, all right? All right, happiness runs is gonna come up on the screen. You can follow along with the words and sing it. If you want to keep yourself muted, that would be helpful though. All right, so then we can hear the video playing. All right, I'm gonna get the Odeon team up here as well. I'm gonna squat down here. Happiness runs in a circular motion. Love is like a little boat on the sea. All of our hearts are deeper than you can see. You can be happy if you let yourself be. Happiness runs in a circular motion. Love is like a little boat on the sea. All of our hearts are deeper than you can see. You can be happy if you let yourself be. We're gonna leave you tonight with an inspirational video brought to you by Disney. So stay online for about 2 or 3 more minutes, and we'll see you next time at Ticker Talk.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
Real life's a little bit more complicated than a slogan on a bumper sticker. Real life is messy. We all have limitations. We all make mistakes, which means, hey, glass half full, we all have a lot in common. And the more we try to understand one another, the more exceptional each of us will be.
Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere.
Life get you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim.
Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story. So, who are you, Panda?
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it. to believe in it.
But how? How? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe. Promise me, Shifu. Promise me you will believe.
I will try.
Good.
Ow! Jeez, what was that for? It doesn't matter. It's in the past. Yeah, but it still hurts. Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Ah! You see? So what are you going to do?
First, I'm gonna take your stick.
No, not a stick!
There is no secret ingredient. It's just you.
But we have to try. So no matter what type of animal you are, from the biggest elephant to our first fox, I implore you, try. Try to make the world a better place. Look inside yourself and recognize that change starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with all of us.